To place plants in the drawing, click the Content tab and choose Plants from the pop-up menu. Plants are organized into categories, some with subcategories. Just click to see the preview of the plants. There's even a category for containers and potted plants. We'll look at the ornamental grass that's available. Scroll down, look for the plant. You'll see tooltips appear that describe the plant. When you find the right plant, just drag it in. So drag the plant with your left mouse button down into the 2D plan and release to place it. Select the plant, drag it with your mouse and cursor, or use the arrow keys on your keyboard to nudge it in one direction or another. Now we'll delete that plant. While that plant is selected, right-click the perimeter of the bed. Choose Fill with Plants. Select only Line Along Perimeter, and define the plant spacing for these plants that are going to go around the perimeter and click Fill. It will create a perimeter based on the spacing of that plant around the entire bed. And we'll just delete these plants that are on the back side of the bed next to the wall. You can also select any of the plants or groups of the plants that were placed around the perimeter and move them. Now, position the cursor where you can left-click and drag around the plants to select them. When you select plants, the entire plant needs to be inside the window to select it. Press and hold the Shift key to add a plant to the selection set if needed. Then, use your arrow keys to nudge those back into the bed a little bit so that when you use the Grow feature, you'll see the plants grow and they are all within the bounds of our bed. The Plant Growth feature is available on the Properties pane when nothing is selected in the drawing and allows you to see how the landscape will look over time. Now, we'll delete the plants, and we will go back to the plant library and find a different shrub to use in our bed. So we'll choose the shrub category, find a shrub that we like, place one. This time, we've dropped the plant right into the 3D view. And then you can just reposition them as needed in the 2D view. We'll go back to our plant library. Of course, you'll want more plants than just a single type in the bed. So we'll select Annuals. Again, the tooltips appear. We'll select these Impatiens and drag them into the plan or into the 3D view. As we start to accumulate plants in our design, it will get harder to tell the different types of plants apart in the 2D view because the plant symbols look the same. To help differentiate the plants in 2D, you can change the plant symbols. Just select a plant and on the Properties pane, choose the symbol you want. You can select multiple plants at once by holding the Shift key as you click, and choose the symbol to apply to all of them at once. You can also edit the size of the plant by selecting Use Custom Sizing and entering the size you want. Be sure to press the Return key to accept the new values. And this will affect the plant in both 2D and 3D. You can also find plants in different ways rather than just searching through individual libraries one at a time. We'll go back to the Plants Library content, and at the bottom of the pane, there's a search field. We'll type in Hosta and press Return, and it will look through all the libraries and display previews for all of the hostas that are available throughout all of the libraries. We can also go to the Plant Finder that allows you to set criteria for the hardiness zones, sunlight requirements, water requirements. Now, we'll switch to our tree library and let's change our view. We'll zoom out just a bit and move into the front yard. Find a tree. Again, tooltips appear over the thumbnails as well as down in the status bar. Now, we'll see how planting age and plant growth can be used for different plants. Find a tree. Drag that into the 2D plan just like the other plants. The plant growth feature grows the shrubs and the tree. Notice the shrubs have stopped growing. That's because they reached their maximum size. Now, along with the growth feature, you can select an individual plant, and on the Properties pane, change the age planted. And that accelerates the growth of the tree because it was bigger when you put it in. So you're growing from a larger size to start with. Now we'll render it so you can see that the sunlight will actually render from the trees, and that helps when you're planting shade gardens and what part of the landscape needs full sun.